Well, hey, good morning. Welcome to my channel. This is Jamie Lee with Go Happy Yourself, where sometimes we are not always so happy. Um, and you know what? That's part of life. And, I've always said that we don't want to be happy all the time because then how would we even know what happy is, right? We experience happiness based on sadness. And so when you're sad, we all know what that feels like. So when you have some good times, they're just made that much better because you've experienced the highs and the lows. So I said I was going to try to post more, and it just doesn't happen. Of course, I always want everything to be perfect. My hair has to be curled or not, or fixed, or makeup has to be right, and I'm just gonna try to do more posting and being less perfect. So I think the last time I posted was the day after my birthday, and I was on the beach, which is the best place in the world to be. So today I'm home, which is my second best place in the world to be. And it's been a very emotional week for me, and I'm just gonna let it out because that's what we're gonna do here, be raw and real, and tell you what I've been feeling. So I told you last week that I am letting the whole looking for love thing go off of my goal list. And I'm getting very emotional as I say that because it is still so, it's still very emotional for me because it's just about the only thing that I have ever wanted in my whole life was to love somebody and to be loved by somebody. And I know there's a lot of people in my life that love me, but romantic love is just different than every other kind of love. And there's something about being desired by somebody, and that it's just hard to put behind you when that's the only thing that you've ever wanted in your entire life. But we're going to try to move forward and focus more on maybe loving myself and seeing where that takes me. So a couple of things. So I did put other things on my goal list, and one of them, so I had started, when the whole pandemic was going on, I said, the minute this pandemic is over, I'm going to be out of this house and I'm never going back in again because it just was being locked up. So I had some things on my list of things to do that I wanted to accomplish. And after losing, like 60 pounds over the past year, what I wanted was to have some more self-confidence. Of course, I wanted to be in better shape, and I wanted to have self-confidence. And I was mindful, because I was always also dealing with the back issue, of doing things that would strengthen my back and get me in shape. And so I decided that I really wanted to, after doing some research, I really wanted to try out aerial yoga. During my research, one of the things that it said was that aerial yoga is very good for lower back support, strengthening the back. So I thought that would be an awesome thing. And if you're not familiar with aerial yoga, you may have seen it kind of like Cirque du Soleil, or what Pink does in concert, working with the silks and, all of that stuff. So I thought, oh my gosh, that looks so beautiful, and I would love to try that. So I was looking for a place in my local area, Melbourne, Florida, and they did have a place that specializes in aerial yoga. But my friend um, recommended that I go to another place called Bliss Studio, also in Melbourne, Florida. And Bliss has a lot of different classes. They do the aerial yoga, they do hammock, which I didn't know what that was until I tried it, but they also do pole dancing and chair dancing. And if you don't know what chair dancing is, it's not dancing for seniors like I originally thought it was. It's actually a sexy kind of lap dancing without the lap. Okay. So I decided to try Bliss Studios because there were a lot of different classes. It's all female. And I thought that by doing those, the sexy dances, I would get the confidence. And, not that I'll be using them for anybody, especially now that I've given up the search for love, but whatever. So that was my plan. I thought that I would do that. So they had this awesome special to sign up for 2 weeks for $79, and you could take unlimited classes. So I said, this is great. I'll take as many different classes as I can and see if there's anything that I click with. And so I decided to start with the chair dancing because I'm figuring, how hard could that be? I might have done that once or twice before. Just kidding. Maybe not. Anyway, so I took the class, and this is what I'll say. So it was supposed to be a beginner class. Actually, there's only one level. But the instructor, who was awesome, is a dancer and a choreographer. And so the moves were based more on getting into a routine than they were about actually learning about the chair and throwing your legs up in the air and all of that stuff. So uncoordinated old me ended up on my back on the floor with the chair on top of me. And the funny thing about that one was that, first of all, you're in a safe space. So all the little young girls went, first they went, but, the instructor moves on with the class because she doesn't want you to be embarrassed, but she's watching me to make sure that I'm okay. And so I get back on the chair, but before I can move on to my next move, I have to address my watch because it's the Apple Watch with the fall detector, that I thought would be good when I reached a certain age because I live alone and whatever. So I had to address it because it detected that I fell. And if I didn't address it, it would call my sister in New York and also the EMTs, which could have been a very embarrassing situation. So chair dancing, big X on that one. I did end up with bruises all over my hip and up and down my spine. The next class was sensuality. And so it was with the same instructor, and it didn't say anything. They're very, very specific about what clothing you wear for each class because if you're on a pole, you need to be able for your skin to be able to latch onto the pole. So, they don't want you wearing any silky fabrics or whatever. So there was no mention of clothing on that. So I texted before I went, and I'm figuring, from the description of the class, it sounded like it was, getting in touch with your sensuality and you're being comfortable with your body. And I had no idea what that meant, but I do admit that I got a little concerned when, as I was pulling up to park in front of the place, they texted me back and said, wear something comfortable, but bring your knee pads. And I'm like, oh God, this sounds like another bruise. And it was, I was completely bruised up all over my body. It was a lot of rolling around on the floor. Again, it was more freestyle dancing, but on the floor than anything else, and wasn't exactly what I was thinking it would be. So sensuality, crossed that off the list. The next class was, so I wanted to do the silks, but they told me at the front desk, listen, try the hammock first because it's more supportive than the silks, and you probably do better on that. Okay, well, that didn't work out either for me. So hammock, big X. I ended up like getting stuck in the hammock, and in order to get out, I had to catapult myself across the floor. So no. And then by the time it got to the pole dancing class, I really just said, I'm going to cut my losses here, because the lesser classes were strenuous, and I said the pole, I had taken a pole dance a long time ago, and I'm sure it didn't get easier the older that I got. So I said, let me cut my losses here, because what I was going there for was to build self-confidence, and it had the opposite effect. And so I was starting at less than zero in that area. However, at the same time, I had also signed up for something I have wanted to do for a really, really long time, and that is ballroom dancing. And I have to tell you that I am loving it, okay? Just absolutely loving it. I go to a place called Melbourne Ballroom, and my instructor is one of the owners, and his name is Barry, and I just adore him to pieces. So I was a little bummed this weekend because my class got canceled because there was an event going on, but I'll go tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday, so we have a class to Monday. And I absolutely love ballroom dancing. I'm terrible at it, but Barry won't ever tell you that. And he's really funny, and I just love him to death. So what I want to say about that is, the pole dancing and all of that didn't work out, but I didn't give up, and I tried something new. So when something you've tried doesn't work for you, don't give up completely. Try something different, because you just might find the thing that you want to do. And I'm going to be honest with you, I really am struggling this week. I don't know. Something is just not sitting right in my soul, and I don't know what it is. And I'm kind of struggling with the whole, does this even really matter? Like, what's the point of everything? Like, what is the point? I work 97,000 hours during the week, and then I come home to an empty house. And if I don't have love when I get here, then I just don't understand what the point of everything is. And I know there is one, because if there wasn't, I wouldn't be here. But I'm just, struggling like you are, or have been, or could be, or will be. And, we all go through this, and life isn't always perfect. And so, I'll share the good and the bad with you. And, there's always a little bit of both in everybody's life. So I remain extremely grateful for everything that I have and where I am in life, and for the people that love me. And I love them very much, but, we all have issues. And we hopefully will work through them together. So here I am with my issues, and I invite you to tell me yours, and maybe we can help each other. So until I can post again, hopefully it won't be another whole week, but go happy yourself as best you can, or my next favorite line is fake it till you make it. And I'll see you next time.